Can everyone have a round of applause, please?
Thanks, Connor. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I got a bit of a sigh of relief there because I stepped up and there wasn't a whole wad of paper, which normally happens when it's speech time. So we've got to keep the evening rolling tonight. We've got the light show, we've got Ben Harper, so we've got to keep everything rolling along tonight. But the first thing I want to do is to say, on behalf of Angela and myself and Paul and Karen, a big warm welcome. Thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight on this special occasion for Zach and Tanisha's wedding. A lot of visitors come from a long way. I think the furthest is Perth. Where's the Perth mob? Hands up. Yep, Perth mob. Yeah, big hand for the Perth mob. We've got some Melbourne guys. There's another Perth one. We've got some Melbourne guys. Hands up, Melbourne guys. Fantastic. A lot of rural New South Wales. Where are all you guys? Yep, a few of those. Queanbeyan and Jerrabomber, where are you? Interstate? Yeah, good on you. Top effort, guys. Good on you. Great effort there. It's great that we finally got here. Angela, having run between 350 and 400 weddings as a wedding coordinator in her life, for those of you who don't know, likes the traditional thing. Tanisha, bit of non-traditional, and as you could appreciate, there was a bit of a clash at times over the last few months. But the one thing that they do have in common is the love of cakes and baking. And, at 11 o'clock at night when something isn't working in respect to cakes and something doesn't quite taste right, or you need some freeze-dried iguana toenails or something, there's keys to a whole cake decorating shop available at their disposal. So, from that point of view, they do enjoy getting together and doing the cake thing, and at least they're able to find a common ground. But I'm happy that we've actually made it to this, and it's finally happened. A big thanks to Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, and Uncle Chris for taking part in today. Much appreciated. Yeah, big round of applause. Thank you. I was sitting there during the exchange of rings, and there was just for a split second where the accountant in me came out. And I thought, exchanging rings, this guy now gets half of everything I've ever worked for in the future. If I don't spend it first, of course. But mate, it was great to have you on board. Thank you for coming along, and it's been a great day. We've got to know Zach over the last 18 months or so. I was doing a quick fact check in the back of the A model on the way here to the service, and October 2021 was when you arrived in Canberra. September 20. So look, he's been around for about 18 months. He's been around quite regularly for dinner, and as soon as he met me, he knew that he had to be part of our family. You could tell that was a no-brainer. But look, I'm happy he ate all my cooking. Doesn't like olives. When it comes to things like dishes, yeah, he's okay. And the other good thing is I've only had to fix his car once since he arrived in Canberra. So, that's all good. And hopefully it's still, the exhaust is still, yep, okay, that's fantastic. Mate, most people, most fathers will give you some information, maybe some warnings about the new bride, about their daughters, but I'm actually going to give you some better information, some more important information, and that's about your mother-in-law. It's really... Thank you, Ruben, thank you. Look, you've probably already worked out that she's very smart and very intelligent, and I think you'll agree with me with that, right, dear? Thank you. She tells me with all those pieces of paper she's got hanging up in her office that it proves the case that she is, and she is very much so. Mate, she will love you as part of the family, and you've probably already determined that already. But if you do anything wrong, she will call you out. Be assured of that. But welcome to being part of the family, and look, we've enjoyed having you and getting to know you over the last 18 months since you moved into Canberra. Tanisha Grace Griffiths.
Mason.
Oh yes, well, it came along as Tanisha Grace Griffiths. We didn't get you here in a 44 or a Jet Ranger, but we got you here in Par's A model. So that was the main thing. So thanks to Par for the A model, the 1930 Model A Ford. Hopefully you all got to get to have a look at it. Bit of an interesting fact for you, Angela and I also used it for our wedding back in 1992. And it's still going strong. And Chris and Joanne also used it for their wedding in 1991. So and all the grandkids up there, they've used it for their wedding. So it's served the family well. Tanisha Grace. Now, the name Tanisha, Angela and I had actually decided on quite a few years ago before she came along that if we had a daughter, she was going to be called Tanisha. And I did find out, true story here, I did find out that Swahili meaning of Tanisha is daughter of the handsome one. It was so appropriate. Thank you, Ruben, for agreeing with me. So I was happy to run with that. Grace, that was determined probably about half a mile from Cooma Hospital at 4 a.m. in the morning, that if she's going to be a daughter, that she would have the middle name Grace. So we've ended up with a TGG. And as she's got older, her and Rhett got into motorbikes, which was a good thing because she didn't get into horses. GG, horses. See what I did there? Okay, no worries. Yeah, thanks. Look, I was also putting a few stories about Tanisha growing up and in her younger years. And every time I came up with a story to tell, I'd run it by Angela and she'd go, no, you can't tell them that one. No, you can't tell them that one. No, you can't tell them that one. Yeah, I know you're wondering. But the only thing that I will tell you is that at a younger age as a toddler, Tanisha discovered that the cat had a go button at the base of its tail. Press the button, poof, the cat would go. So that's about the only story I'm able to tell you this evening. Look, as what have you been here? Just over 2 decades since you arrived in our life, Tanisha, and we've been extremely happy with the way that you've turned out, all the things that you've achieved and continue to achieve. And I must admit, look, I as parents, when you sort of follow in our footsteps and we teach you things and you do things that we're really happy with, and sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional here and crying. But, when you do these things that we're very happy with and we can see you and you're doing them and you're growing, and there's one particular thing that I'm very happy with what you could achieve and the skill and the competence, and that was being able to use a 6-speed manual gearbox. That has really been close to my heart. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Over to Angela.
I'm going to have to read some of mine, so excuse me with my glasses. I would like to thank the amazing people that have helped create this day for us. These very handsome man over there, Daniel, boombox to you, thank you so much. We had a very specific list of requirements and requests, and he's been fulfilling them brilliantly, so thank you so much. Our photographer crew, we've got Justin and Kenny. Thank you so much from Project Image. It has been a blast spending the day with you and having you listen to our brief and follow that through. Thank you so much. To We Are One Films, we've got Luelle, Patrick, Sandro and Aldo have been a part of our day, and we look forward to sharing with you the amazing videos that they're going to put together that they've been capturing throughout today's journey. We'll share that for you as well, and the photography. So thank you guys for being a special part of our day and capturing all those special moments. To our lovely childcare workers, we've got Billiana and Carol, who are a very special part of our life. Thank you so much for looking after the junior members of our guest list and for giving them a little bit of spoil and attention, because everyone's families are really important and the kids are really important. So thank you for bringing them, and thank you, Carol and Billiana, for looking after them. To the Marion, we'd like to say a very warm thank you for looking after us and hosting us today. To Yana, who was working with us through all the prep, Olivia here tonight looking after us, Chef Matthew and Robert, all of the culinary team and all the food and beverage stuff. Thank you so much. What we've experienced so far has been extremely delicious, so thank you very much. I'd like a special thank you to my Latorda team for particularly Bazana for helping with decor, and Sue as well for helping with signage, etc. Jazz for also helping with decor, and their husbands. You guys have been amazing, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life, and thank you so much for that. A massive big thank you to Vazana and Jasmina for helping us with the cake, and Tanisha has really been blessed with what you've contributed and how you've directed and flowed her and used your talents. The cake was a 4-person little event, so we've got Boz and Jazz and Tanisha and myself to thank for this little creation over here. So please come up and admire it at some stage and give them lots of love, because they're extremely talented, and I'm very blessed to have them in my life. The flowers, our beautiful arrangements, the girls' bouquets. Big thank you to Jasmina for helping make all of those yesterday. And at the last moment, our beautiful groom's maid came over and created these beautiful big ones behind as well that we also had at the church. So thank you so much for creating, filling our decor, our day with beautiful fresh flowers. Jazz went above and beyond the call of duty. She arrived at my house yesterday at 9:30 in the morning to help make bouquets. She left at 2:15 this morning. So a good 16 and a half hours or whatever, helping with cake, helping with flowers. So a massive thank you. I will be forever in your debt. She's our next mother of the bride coming up in my life, so I've promised her that I'll be there to hold her hand like she was for me. Thank you so much. So some stories on Tanisha. Firstly, we are so proud of the woman that you are. We are so proud of the journey that you've taken. It has been an absolute delight and privilege to be your parents. We've always boasted about how awesome you are. So thank you for being that person. As you've heard earlier today, one of Tanisha's talents is knowing how to castrate a bull. So please, gentlemen, be always on your guard. She knows how to catch babies. I mean, she knows how to stop the pregnancy. She knows how to deal with them if you do get pregnant. So I think that's a good all-rounder kind of skill to have. We're very proud of her with that. About 4 years ago, I had the privilege of going to Cambodia with Tanisha. We went and visited a mission in Cambodia that teaches cake decorating skills to girls that have been rescued from the slave trade. And Tanisha and I saw things that we'll never unsee. We learnt things that are very raw, and we've been really pleased to be able to support them in their mission. And Tanisha, if you read through Tanisha's gift registry, she included them in there still 4 years later. It's really still close to her heart, and I'm really blessed that that's the daughter that I have. She's also been dux of class many times in her younger years at primary school. She started a very fabulous primary school, one of 2 children. So as you can imagine, her prep years, she was very invested by her teachers. There's only had to share them with one other, and it was a great start to her education. So that was really good. And she's been a magical, hardworking person. She's the Latorda's longest serving staff member as well. So she's been brilliant. Okay. So Zach has entered into Tanisha's life, and he's worked out pretty early on that there is actually, obviously, Cameron and Rhett are part of her life, but there were 3 other men already in Tanisha's life that Zach had to deal with. Gerald and Graham. The first 2, Gerald being her pot plant, Graham being her robot vacuum cleaner. The one that kept getting invited for dinner really razzled him though, and that's George Foreman Grill. So you would always sort of worry about these names being banded around in the early days. But of course, Zach had to get Tanisha back in that regard. We found out that Zach actually has 3 children and to 3 different mothers. So there's Adelia and Benoni. They're his World Vision sponsor children. And the 3rd child, he doesn't even know the name of. So I hope that does not become a pattern, and if you have 3 children, you'll forget the 3rd one. I hope that's not a repeating habit. You might also wonder what it will be like for me to have a lawyer in the family, join the family. And I guess I should show you by admitting into evidence Exhibit A. My birthday card this year. I'm going to have to put my glasses on now. I'll try and read this in my best legalese speak. Dear Angela, I refer to your correspondence dated 28th of October 2022, where you noted that you were giving me your daughter, so what more could I want? I regret to inform you that I am unable to return a gift as great as your daughter at this time, but trust that the provision of grandchildren in a few years' time will be sufficient return on investment. For now, I hope you appreciate these birthday gifts, What is it like having Tanisha in my life? Exhibit B, her birthday card of the same year. My favourite child gave me this card. That's the difference between the 2 of them. This week has been really special. I've got to spend a lot of time with Tanisha, as you can appreciate, but more than I've had probably in the last 15, 18 months since Zach moved from Sydney down to Canberra to be with her. And we've been choosing flowers and shopping, and we've been baking cakes till the wee hours of the morning. It's been a really special time. Thank you for sharing with me your most valuable time and doing all these things with me. Thank you so much. I will forever miss the little girl that you were, and I will forever love the woman that you are becoming. Thank you, and God bless you both.